Today, we're going to talk about the Professionals Pact. It's this sort of unspoken agreement that gives fields like engineering and geoscience their real power and prestige. So, what exactly is this pact, and why should you care? Let's get into it.
It's a really good question, right? I mean, what is the difference? Is it just the years of training, or the fancy title, or the paycheck? Well, yeah, those are part of it for sure. But the real difference, the thing that sets a profession apart, is a unique privilege and a pretty profound responsibility that most jobs just don't have. And that privilege is called self-regulation. Now, this isn't something that's just handed out. It's earned. Society basically looks at a profession and says, you know what? We trust you. We trust you to manage your own people, to set your own high standards, and to handle your own ethics, all without us, the government, looking over your shoulder every second. That's a huge vote of confidence. So this trust, it becomes the foundation of what you could call a sacred pact, almost like a social contract. Let's break down what each side is really promising in this deal.
This right here, this lays out the whole arrangement perfectly. On one side, you've got what society gives, the exclusive right to do the work, the ability to use protected titles like P.eng or P.geo, and of course, that freedom from direct government control. But it's a two-way street. In return, the profession makes a huge promise to always protect public safety, to maintain competence and ethics, and to discipline its own members when they mess up.
And here's the most important part. This isn't a passive deal. This pact isn't kept alive by some outside force. No, it's a living, breathing contract that is held up entirely by the professionals themselves. It absolutely requires their active, ongoing involvement to mean anything at all.
So, you might be wondering, how does this actually happen? How do professionals keep up their end of the bargain? Well, that brings us to the real nitty-gritty, the work of self-governance.
Participation can look like a lot of different things, and honestly, they're all critical to keeping the system healthy. We're talking about voting in council elections, volunteering to serve on committees, mentoring the next generation of professionals, taking part in peer reviews, and contributing to technical societies. Every single one of these actions strengthens the profession.
Let's just take voting for a second. It might seem like a small thing, but it is incredibly powerful. When you cast your vote for your association's council, you are literally helping to steer the ship. You are directly shaping the policies and the standards that will define your profession's credibility for years to come. And this is where so much of the real work gets done. Volunteer committees are basically the engine of self-regulation. I mean, look at this. They handle everything from who gets in, to investigating complaints, to updating the actual practice guidelines. This means your peers, not some bureaucrats who don't understand the work, are the ones making sure the rules are fair, relevant, and technically sound. Mentoring is another huge piece of the puzzle, and it's about way more than just teaching someone the technical stuff. It's how a profession's ethical DNA, that deep commitment to public safety, gets passed down from one generation to the next. It's how you prepare new professionals for the weight of their responsibilities. And that's really the key takeaway here. All of this stuff, the voting, the volunteering, the mentoring, these aren't just nice things to do if you have some spare time. They are a professional duty. It's an ethical obligation that's literally part of the job description of being a professional. Okay, but what happens if that obligation is ignored? What are the consequences when professionals just get passive and disengaged? Well, that's when this whole pact starts to fall apart. And the risks are very, very real. Just look at this breakdown. The single biggest danger of disengagement at 40% is losing your autonomy. Because if a profession proves it can't govern itself, believe me, someone else will step in to do it. And right behind that is losing public trust, which is something that, once it's gone, is incredibly hard to ever get back.
So when members stop showing up, when they stop participating, the gears of self-regulation just grind to a halt. And this kind of inaction leads directly to two, frankly, devastating consequences.
The first one is government intervention. If the public or the government feels a profession isn't doing its job of protecting people, lawmakers will step in and impose their own rules and their own oversight. And just like that, the privilege is revoked and that precious autonomy is gone. And the second one is just as damaging. You lose the public's trust. The moment people stop believing that a profession can police itself and protect their interests, the value and respect of that professional title starts to completely evaporate. So, okay, let's reframe this. Instead of just focusing on the negatives, let's look at this from a much more positive, much more empowering angle. Your duty as a steward. This is such a powerful way to think about it. Being a licensed professional means you are a guardian. You are a custodian of your profession's entire reputation, its legacy, and its future. You are personally entrusted with protecting it.
You know this quote from Anita, a P.eng who volunteers on a discipline committee, just nails it. She doesn't see her work as just volunteering or some extra task. For her, it's how she lives up to that professional promise to the public. It's a personal commitment.
And being a good steward is more important today than maybe ever before. Think about it. We're facing way more public scrutiny, projects are unbelievably complex, practice is global, and we have game-changing technologies like AI coming at us fast. These are not challenges that you can meet by sitting on the sidelines.
So the bottom line is this: the future health, the independence, the very survival of every self-regulating profession depends entirely on its members stepping up to the plate. The complexities of our world demand more engagement, more expertise, and more commitment from all of us, not less.
Which really leaves us with one final thought. This isn't just some abstract idea we've been talking about. It is a personal responsibility. Your profession's legacy, its reputation, its autonomy, that public trust, it's all a direct result of what its members do or don't do. So the real question is, how will you be its steward?